One day Chris is playing alone in Hamburg and had to actually leave the stage for a little bit. He asked me, "Oh man, can you make a mix?" I was like, "Sure." When he comes back, he's like, "Man, do you want to join me?" I thought he was joking, and then he was like, "No man, I'm serious." And then it just made sense.
Welcome back to On the Rail with Techno, Natasha. I'm sitting here with one of the members of Teenage Mutants, Fabio. Chris had to catch a train in just a couple hours, but they just finished their set here I'm thinking I'm in Berlin and I'm not in Berlin, in Nuremberg. And you want to say the name of the club because I don't want to mispronounce it.
Rakete.
Thank you so much. So I actually wanted to start off by talking about how you guys decided to collaborate together, because I know that you met throwing parties and then Chris was actually with another member and then you guys decided to come together. So can you tell us a little bit about that story?
Yeah, exactly. It was, we know each other for like probably 13, 14 years now. And, you know, we played together, we partied together. I had a residency in a club in Hamburg. He was playing there as well. Slept in my place and so on for such a long time. Then it was a time that the other member from Teenage Mutants, Paco, he wanted to leave. And one day Chris is playing alone in Hamburg and had to actually leave the stage for a little bit. And he asked me, "Oh man, can you make a mix?" I was like, "Sure." When he comes back, he's like, "Man, do you want to join me?" And I thought he was joking, and I was laughing about it. Didn't even answer him. And then he was like, "No man, I'm serious." And I was like, "Okay, let me think about it." But then it just made sense. I needed something as well, something new in my music life, and it felt like the right decision. I still believe so. I'm happy. I think we both are. Yeah.
Well, especially all of us that are listening to your music, I think we're very happy about this collaboration as well. And
if I smoke?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah?
Please. I mean, I don't know if it's a restriction on YouTube or not, but I don't know, whatever. Just
No,
go for it.
I don't think so.
I think they smoke weed on and everything.
Yeah.
And they do all sorts of...
It's a secret. It's a secret.
So, no, it's interesting that you say that, because I'm curious, since you guys knew each other for such a long time and you obviously both were in the music industry already but doing your own projects. Well, how was it like that night and then moving forward? Because had you guys played together before, or did you were like familiar with each other?
A few times we played like back to back, and you know, and somehow our journeys were always, in terms of music taste and you know what we wanted to do and where we were going, a little bit parallel. Of course, Teenage Mutants was already way bigger, but you know, we were releasing in some of the same labels as well and all that. And so it just made sense, I guess.
And how was it? How do you think it changed once you came in? Because you must have, you know, evolved the project tremendously, because you're a completely new member in that time, obviously. So how did you, or like, what do you think that you brought to the table that really made Teenage Mutants what it is today?
I don't know. I think that would be best for Chris to answer, but I think it's just my love of music in the same way as Chris does, you know. We're not doing this for anything else. It's about making music. It's about doing what we love to do. And since we were teenagers, you know, clubbing and playing the music that we love to make people smile. That's it. And I think bringing that, having someone next to Chris that feels the same vibe, shares the same vibe, I think that's what I bring.
And when you guys decided to relaunch Tragedy, and now you guys are going full force, I saw that you were, was it number 6 top Beatport peak time? You're like, it was in top 10 for sure. Yeah,
something,
of course.
Something there, I can't remember. To be
so
honest.
It's amazing though, because I know that you guys had kind of started Tragedy, the label, but then you took a step back, and I don't know if you maybe want to talk about why there was a little bit of a break and now you're doing a big push.
Just a reorganization of, you know, running a label together with what we're doing always on the road. We needed to restructure it a little bit to make the next step, you know, to grow into the next step and do it the way we wanted to do. Yeah, so it was that. Nothing big. You know, sometimes you take a step back to do two forward.
And how did you guys come up with the name? Why this name? And what are your guys' goals with the label now?
The name it came from, so I started working with Tragedie actually before I even joined Teenage Mutants. So that's a part of our journey together. I was already doing the masterings for the label for a while. So the label name came before I joined in, but it comes from the theater and especially Greek theater. It comes from there, and as an inspiration to a little bit of the drama in a positive side, in a positive way that we want to bring to techno. To have this ups and downs, this darkness with some happiness.
What are your guys' goals with the label, and what kind of sound or artists are you looking for to sign to the label? Kind of what is the structure behind it?
Too many. We want to both. Actually, there's three things that we want to do at the moment. On one side, we want to focus our own music on the label. We want to release a lot on our label, or I won't say exclusively, because there's always friends that we have on other labels, and we want to do as well in there. But on a big chunk of our music to be released on our label. Secondly, to have some big artists that are also our friends, and sometimes we do collaborations with or not. We like their music, we want to invite them. And thirdly, to bring some smaller artists that need a platform and have a lot of talent, and there's plenty of them out there. Sometimes commercially it doesn't make much sense, but that's fine. We take that, I wouldn't call it risk, but something like that. And to push them, to give them a platform where they can put their music out. And so these three things that we want to do.
And how about sound? Is there something you're looking for in specific when it comes to sound?
Yeah. We are trying to avoid a little bit some cliches of techno at the moment. Not everyone does whatever they want to do, but we try to find artists that trying to push the envelope and try new things, risk, and if you don't risk, you also won't find new ways to put your music out there.
Sure, and a fresh sound, I think, which is what we're all striving for, right? The creativity behind that. And when it comes to production, do you maybe have, I don't know if it's maybe plugins, or if you want to maybe explain a little bit of the workflow that you guys have to create your signature sound, because you guys definitely have a signature sound.
Yeah, I think so. But it's not about so much the plugins, it's about how I'm a bit of a nerd in terms of sound, so I can spend an hour easily on a kick, but then the kick works. I think we also complement each other a lot in the studio. Chris is really great in arrangement and bringing fresh ideas and new perspectives, and I'm very much more focused on the sound itself. And he lives in Berlin, I live in Hamburg, so I'm a night guy, he's a day guy. We send the tracks back and forth to each other. He works during the day, he sends me the track, I'm working through the night. 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm sending him another version, and until we are on version 54, and then we say, okay, enough, let's put it out. Of course, we test it. Today we tested like 3-4 new tracks, and it's like that, and see the feedback of the crowd.
What if you could say like one piece of advice that when it comes to production, and something that you do specifically that maybe you think sets you guys apart, for any producers out there, that you could give some sort of advice that's like, this is what Fabio or Chris or Teenage Mutants do to be able to get their sound to this place?
Not necessarily the sound, but I don't know, if you hear our latest tracks especially, we're always trying to do something different than everyone else out there, or at least we're trying that. And it's this, we could repeat over and over a formula that we know works, but that's not what we're gonna do. It's as simple as that. And that might set us apart from the rest, I think. not saying that we are special. There's a lot of good artists out there that are trying as well to do it. But that's also what we're trying to do in our own way. But it's hard to pinpoint exactly what. It's a vibe.
Is there maybe like I just want like a nerdy production, just one little tidbit, like if it's developing your kick, that 1 hour that you're spending on a kick, give us a little, even if I might not know exactly what you're talking about, but just for any of the producers out there.
I'll say saturation is key. Saturation, distortion, little bits in many stages, especially on the kick, also on bass lines, but especially on the kick and hi-hats make a huge difference. The human ear likes that little bit of noise, and that little bit of noise really makes an impact on techno. Okay,
I can see what you mean by that, because you guys, I'm not surprised by you saying that you work so much on the kick, because that's one of the most powerful things about your guys' sound in every track. So the last question, we'll finish off with something fun. Since you are living in Hamburg and Chris is living in Berlin, maybe give us one place from each that is like a really good restaurant or somewhere that you guys really love to go to that you can recommend.
Tough question, but that's actually, we are both huge foodies. So, a place where we go almost always when we play together in Hamburg, it's Lokmam. It's a Turkish, for me, the best Turkish restaurant. Even in Turkey, like I haven't found a better Turkish restaurant in Turkey. Lokmam in Hamburg, and in Berlin, maybe Schnitzel from Schneeweiß. It's one of them.
One of the many. We need to put like a food guide by you guys, because I watch your Instagram and you guys post a lot of good food.
Maybe one day we'll do a book or something. I don't know, or Google Maps with pinpoints too. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Fabio, for joining us today, and thank you so much. That was awesome.